Hi guys, it's Kate, the Almost Book Doctor, and welcome to my channel. You may notice that I look a little different today. This is because we have stepped back in time. You are viewing High School Kate, because today I'm bringing you a video called Emo Edgelord Anthems. So guys, I really love music. I've talked about music on my channel before, but what you guys don't know about me is that when I was in junior high and high school, I was straight up emo kid. Like Fall Out Boy, My Chemical Romance, singing about how much my life sucked. I feel like everyone goes through a phase, but my generation had this specific type of angst. I really don't think that this kind of music has become popular in any other generation. And there's some super great music that's come out of the emo phase, and some of the bands are still going on. I'm wearing a Simple Plan t-shirt right now, and they just released new music last week, and it was awesome, and it sounds just like their old stuff. I was in emo 2007, and I've kind of had a reawakening of my love for music like that. And so as I've been listening to my old school playlists of this music, I kept thinking about the characters that I love in fantasy books and what songs would be their like emo anthems. So I have a list of people and I have a list of songs. Some of them are straight up edgelords. Some of them are just super down emo kids, because not everybody is cool enough to be an edgelord. We all can't be Zayn. We all can't be leaning at every moment in time and be so angsty and so distraught that it's your entire character. So I decided to put together this video to share with you what I think would be our emo and edgelord characters' favorite early 2000s like anthems, because everybody has one. If you grew up in my era, you totally did. Don't pretend you didn't, because we all thought our lives sucked when we were young. Before we start this video, I do want to say that there is going to be some explicit language in some of these songs. That's just the nature of this kind of music. So this is your warning. There'll be some explicit language, and near the end of the video, there are some songs that mention suicide and self-harm. I will have trigger warnings down in the description to let you know, because I know some people are very sensitive about that and would rather not listen to songs that even mention that in them. I am going to not give spoilers for any of the storylines, but there may be mention of relationships between characters. So I will be putting the characters' names down in the description box with timestamps. That way you can skip ahead if you want to, so you don't get any spoilers for any of these stories. I am going to be starting kind of from the least edgelordy, moving down to the most edgelordy. So I'm starting out with the YA, and my very first song is going to be for our beloved angsty boy, Harry Potter. And I'm talking full-blown angst, Harry Potter from the Order of the Phoenix, like bang your head against a wall, seriously boy, get a handle of yourself.
I feel cranky and pubescent today, and I don't know why. Urgh, I'm gonna take it out on people I like.
Thankfully he does eventually, but not before he is the most angsty character I have ever read, still to this day. And so, because he's the most whiny, and because he's the most angsty, I had to pick this song.
To be heard, to feel lost, to be left out in the dark, to be kicked when you're down, to feel like you've been pushed around, to be on the edge, to break you down, but no one's there to save you. No, you don't know what it's like. Welcome to my life.
I couldn't think of a better song for Harry. It's whining about your life and how no one understands you and how you don't fit in and no one can get what you're going through. And that is exactly what Harry is like during all of Order of the Phoenix. But can you blame the kid? Because no one believes him when he says Voldemort's back. To be the foil to Harry, I've picked a song for our evil boy, Draco Malfoy, who is also emo, but in a slightly different way. So I actually picked another Simple Plan song for Draco. So let's hear it.
And you can't change me, 'cause we lost it all. Nothing lasts forever. I'm sorry, I can't be perfect.
So, while Harry is feeling angsty because he feels like no one understands him and no one believes him and no one can get what he's going through, Draco is dealing with having to live up to expectations of his family. And even though his family is evil and are Death Eaters and are expecting Draco to follow in that path, he still feels like he can't live up to what his dad wants. And I feel like secretly inside, Draco just wants acceptance. And he wants to feel like he's good enough. Most teenagers do. They just want to be accepted. And I think a lot of kids just want to feel like they're making their parents proud, even if their parents are evil Death Lords. And so I felt like that song was pretty spot on for Draco. So next, I'm going to move into a very different feeling YA series, which I guess it's not YA technically anymore because it was kind of boosted up into that new adult fantasy. And this is going to be from ACOTAR, everyone's favorite Rysand. So let's hear her song.
I just wanna break you down so badly. Well, I step over everything you say. I just wanna break you down so badly. In the worst way.
So I chose the song because I feel like Rysand would listen to it while he's starting to pine after Feyre. I have only read A Court of Thorn and Roses, just to put that out there. So I don't know what Rysand is like in the next couple books in the series. I just got a really good emo edgelordy feel for him in the first book. I feel like Rysand doesn't want to like Feyre. And to be honest, he kind of treats her poorly in the story, at least as far as I could tell. Now, I know he did some stuff to try to, help her out, but he could have, I don't know, done some other stuff so, she didn't have to go through that trauma. So we have this lyric in the bridge of this song that says, I'm going to make damn sure that you can never leave. No, you won't ever get too far from me. You won't ever get too far from me. And so that seems to me exactly what he does to Feyre. He's like, I'm going to make a deal with you so that you have to come and be with me. I'm going to make damn sure that you can't get away from me. So that's why I picked this song, which is called Make Damn Sure by Taking Back Sunday. So we're going to jump to another series, and this one is actually YA. And so we're going to head over to the Shadow and Bone series. So we're going to talk about our favorite leaning sad boy, played by Ben Barnes. Everybody loves him. Yeah, it's the Darkling. And come on, obviously he's an emo edgelord boy. His name is the Darkling. Come on. So here's his song.
Going down, around, and sugar will going down swinging. I'll be your number one with a bullet. A loaded gun complex, not getting bullet.
Sugar We're Going Down by Fall Out Boy. I love this song. This is probably one of the most nostalgic songs on this playlist for me. I think I I probably still do. I think I know every single lyric from this CD. I listened to it on repeat for so long. I was a big Fall Out Boy girl. And I picked this song for the Darkling because in the first book, he has this thing for Alina. And I don't think that his feelings for her were all just a ruse to get her to be with him for power. I really think that he has been starved for attention from someone who he deems as an equal, not someone trying to throw themselves at him because he is the Darkling and they, want to be with someone who's famous like him. So I imagine him listening to this song when he's sort of lusting over Alina and when he can't have her but wants her really bad. Because the lyrics in the second verse are, "Is this more than you bargained for yet? Oh, don't mind me. I'm watching you two from the closet, wishing to be the friction in your jeans. Isn't it messed up how I'm just dying to be him?" And then in the refrain, you have, "I'll be your number one with a bullet, a loaded God complex, cock it and pull it." God complex, the Darkling, and like he's willing to take her down with him. If she's not going to be with him, she's not going to be with anybody. So I just imagine him being all like super angsty, sitting on the floor listening to this song, being like, ugh, I want Alina. But why do I want Alina? And to continue on the Leigh Bardugo train, I have picked a character from, you guessed it, Six of Crows, Kaz Brekker. I don't think I'd call him an edgelord. He is a misunderstood, seriously traumatized emo boy who, in my opinion, deep down just wants to be loved but doesn't know how to let people love him. So let's listen to his song.
Wake me up inside. Wake me up inside. Call my name and save me from the dark. Bid my blood to run before I come undone. Save me from the nothing I've become.
Now I know, Alan, if you're watching this, I thought this was a much better pick for Kaz Brekker than for Zane. Zane gets a different song. He'll be later in the video. So I imagine Kaz just sitting in his office in the Crow Club, brooding about Inej and just like pining over her and not knowing what to do because she's brought his soul and his heart back to life, but he can't bring himself to be with her because of his trauma and the, issues that he has because of the trauma that if you've read the books, you understand. I mean, the lyrics save me from the nothing that I've become. Like, he wants to pull himself out of this depression and this pit that he's put himself in, but he doesn't know how. And so he's going to sing about it really loudly in the shower to this song. So to move out from our YA section, we're going to move into some adult high fantasy. I'm going to warn you right now, if you have not read the Stormlight Archive and you plan to read the Stormlight Archive, or if you have read the Stormlight Archive and have only read Way of Kings and have not gone any further, you probably want to skip this one because it will spoil something that is in Words of Radiance. So warning. Okay, so Words of Radiance. Who could I possibly be talking about who is an emo edgelord in this series? Yeah, you guessed it. Moash. So let's listen to his song.
I've become so numb, I can't feel you there. Become so tired, so much more aware. I'm becoming this. All I want to do is be more like me and be less like you.
So, Numb by Linkin Park. And if you guys recall, Moash doesn't want to feel the things that he's done because he's done so many crappy things. He tried to kill Elhokar. He tried to kill Kaladin multiple times, and anyone who messes with my boy Kaladin is automatically on my bad person list. But the lyrics in this song really just reminded me of what I can imagine Moash's mindset is right now. He's literally running away from all of his problems, and he's running away from all the bad decisions that he made, and the Fuse help him do it. So I just imagine him listening to this when he's thinking about his old life, when he was with Bridgefor and when he was with Kaladin, and he had expectations that he had to live up to as a member of Bridgefor and as the most trusted person in Kaladin's circle. Kaladin loved Moash, and so when he betrayed him, it was horrible. And so the opening lines of the song, I'm tired of being what you want me to be, feeling so faithless, lost under the surface, don't know what you're expecting of me, put under the pressure of walking in your shoes. He could not live up to the goodness that Kaladin expected him to be. And so I imagine him sitting in, the camps with his little Rosharan iPod in his ears, listening to Numb by Linkin Park and just being like, yes, this is how I feel. I want to be numb and get rid of all these feelings that I have. Why can't I just be like this? I'll never live up to what you want, so let me not feel anything ever again. The next one is actually going to be from some real grimdark right now. And we're talking First Law, Blade itself. And I think there's a lot of characters in here that could be considered emo and slightly edgelordy, but when I think of this, I think of Logan. Logan Nine Fingers, 100%. man's got some problems. So let's listen to his song.
What's the worst thing I can say? Since I've been if I stay so long and good night, so long and good night.
So Logan. Oh, Logan. He's got a lot of problems. One of those problems is that he can't control himself half the time. His bloodlust comes out from this thing inside of him that doesn't really ever get explained, but it's like some demon within him that comes out and becomes this bloodlusting death machine. And so he's just dangerous, and he doesn't want to be dangerous. He does it to survive, and he doesn't know how to live without that. He doesn't have any sort of purpose other than that. So the refrain in this song, what's the worst thing I can say? Things are better if I stay. So long, good night. So long, good night. I just imagine him listening to this and thinking like, I just need to not be around people and to not get myself into situations where all I do is hurt people because I feel like I am just this death machine and nothing good comes of being around me. And so it's like half him sort of beating himself up and half like acknowledging that there's this part of him that he can't control. And so I just imagine like this would be a song that he'd kind of like be into. Him listening to this when he's like walking through the forest by himself, just being like emo. I feel like Logan is not a very like annoying whiny emo. He's just a really like dark emo. I also wouldn't really call him an edgelord, but he kind of fits the vibe. So I was kind of torn between which of these last two characters that I am going to be sharing with you, like which one is the most edgelordy, because I kind of wanted to save the best for last. And I don't really know if I got the order right. So why don't you let me know in the comments which one of these last two you think is the biggest edgelord. This one is Jorg from the Broken Empire trilogy, and he is probably the most edgelordy person to ever exist under the age of 15, because this boy is just like inappropriate and filled with just, he's just inappropriately emo and edgelordy. So let's listen to his song.
Sometimes I get the feeling she's watching over me, and other times I feel like I should go. And through it all, the rise and fall, the bodies in the streets, and when you're gone, we watch you all to know we'll carry on.
This is probably my favorite song out of all of the songs that I've chosen tonight, and this is Welcome to the Black Parade by My Chemical Romance. And I love this song. I've described it as like the millennials version of Bohemian Rhapsody, and before you come after me, it is not Bohemian Rhapsody. I don't think it's as good as Bohemian Rhapsody, but it's the closest thing like my generation has to that kind of like an anthem. And I picked this for Jorg because the Black Parade, like, come on, like that just gives me, you know, the vibes of him and his like group of mercenaries like walking down the roads and like going from city to city and like just killing things. But there's these lyrics in here about the singer's mother, and kind of only one thing that Jorg really has emotions about, at least in the first book. And let me be warned, I have not read the other two. I'm planning on it soon. I just feel like he would have a soft spot for this particular song because it would make him think about his mother and his trauma connected with his mom when he was younger, and like him losing her was such a huge part because he truly did love her, and when he lost her, that's when he kind of broke and shattered into a bunch of pieces and turned into this horrible child. And so I really think that he would like this song out of any of the songs if he listened to music. I'm not even sure if he would listen to music, but if he did, I feel like this would be the song he'd listen to. My last character. Y'all have been waiting for it. Take a second. Guess if you haven't already looked like at the spoilers down below. Yes, it is. It's Zane Who else was I gonna pick? This boy, this leaning edgelord of all edgelords, gets a very particular song. And before I play it, I do want to say this is the song that I wanted to give trigger warnings for because it does reference self-harm. So if you want to tune out now, thank you very much for coming to this video. If you want to stick around and listen to this song, here we go.
Stick on my wrist and black my eyes, so I can fall asleep tonight or die, because you kill me. You know you do, you kill me well.
I feel like this song sums Zayn up very well. He does have a very rough storyline. And I know we all make fun of Zayn for being an edgelord because he is so edgy. Very, 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 very edgy. But he does go through a lot of crap in the story, and like having ruin in his head and it whispering and hearing voices and telling him to kill things, and like that twists a person and he self-harms. And that's part of the reason why I chose this song. But also I feel like some of his angst around loving Vin and wanting Vin and knowing his brother has her affection is just, this song really, like, I think that he would also, you know, stand in the shower and sing this song at the top of his lungs and like maybe cry a bit, because I feel like Zayn would do that. I do like the lyric at the end of the refrain that says, you'll never stop until my final breath is gone, because as we all know, you know, Vin does kill him. So I feel like if he had to die to anybody too, that he probably would have preferred it being Vin because of like the tragicness of it. So yes, that's my pick for Zayn instead of Bring Me to Life by Evanescence, because I feel like the words in this song are more fitting to Zayn. And now I do want to say, because this song does mention self-harm and it does talk about suicide, like these songs shouldn't be glorifying either of these things. And I just want to say that if you are feeling depressed, if you feel like you want to self-harm or anything like that, there are people who can help you and people who are willing to listen and who want to help and be there for you. You're never alone, even if you feel like you are. And I'm going to put down below the phone number for the suicide hotline, for if there's anyone in here who, you know, feels like this sometimes and doesn't know what to do, call that number. Someone will be on the other end. They will help you. I know I have worked at a suicide hotline before. I've talked to people. I've talked them through crises. They can help. So that number is going to be down here. If for any reason you feel like you're in crisis, please, please call. Now that's the end of this video. I had so much fun. If you couldn't tell from the dancing and the headbanging and the like rock sign, I can't help myself. This music is so nostalgic for me, and it still has like this little special place in my heart. If you can think of any other emo edgelordy, you know, characters and you want to find songs for them, or if you think that you know of songs that fit these characters better than what I picked, let me know in the comments. And as always, please like, please subscribe. I would be ever so grateful, and I hope you guys have a rocking evening. Bye.